Welcome, everyone, to Mastermind Seminars Live. We would like to welcome those who are in our location here today, as well as all those who are participating via video streaming at our satellite locations all around the world. We'll be introducing our event today and then turning it over to the very capable hands of some amazing presenters who have graciously given of their time and their amazing talents to share their insights into things which will change our lives as well as our businesses. The main question we want you to ask yourself is, why am I here? Is that a valid question to ask? Yeah. Why am I here? Maybe it's making money. Maybe it's saving more time. Maybe it's addressing my biggest challenge. Maybe it's working on my life vision. Whatever it is, we are here to help you do it. And the way it's going to happen is that you're going to get excited and you'll have the great temptation to do absolutely nothing about it because you are going to feel fantastic when you leave. You really will. I guarantee it. The way it's going to turn into money for you, and the question you have to ask yourself is, how can I turn what I learned today into money for me and my business? Well, it's going to be mind-numbing discipline in two key areas, in only two. One is intellectual, showing up or being on the live stream absolutely every single month. Once a month, that's it. Once a month, and then the implementation or the application is once a week. We have mastermind groups that meet on the phone in 30-minute segments that will absolutely change your life. Or meet live with a coffee connection weekly, and you have to have at least two buddies, two partners from today who participate with you today where you hold one another accountable. You have to do it. You have to do both to make it happen, to achieve what you set out today to achieve. To ensure each participant has rock-solid follow-through, we have a system for that. Go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register, and we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. Does everyone have what we call the fourfold? The fourfold has 14 different panels which you will be able to visually see and take home with you. On panel 6, please write down your biggest challenge, and then as you work through today, write down any ideas you have for solutions. Do not leave here today without having very specific solutions you will commit to do over the next 30 days with at least two other buddies from today's event. So, the topic today, and we have 12 topics every single year. Panel 5 on the fourfold are the same topics each and every year. Your MC or host will share with you the specific topic for today. With each topic, each month, at this event, we have 7 segments. Segment 1 is speed networking, which will be done at each individual location. You'll share your name, your company, your organization, what you would like to accomplish today, your biggest challenge, and your elevator speech. Everyone will break up into groups of 4 individuals, and each person will have 3 minutes to share these 5 things with others in the group. Once everyone has shared, then you will form new groups and do the same thing again. You keep doing this until your MC or host shares it's time to do something else. Segment 2 will be wins and biggest challenges, which is panel 6 on the fourfold. And the MC or host for each location will take 10 minutes to have local groups share their wins from last month's event and or your biggest challenges. Segments 3, 4, and 5 are the 3 elements to the BOS, the Business Operating System, which is panel 7, 8, and 9 of the fourfold. The BOS, Business Operating System, is the engine that runs our business. We earn the money we earn, work the hours we work, we have the stress we do or do not have due to our BOS. And the first element to our BOS, our engine, is the DNA for people, or personality masteries. The second segment is DNA for business, and the third segment is DNA for life. Segment 3, panel 10 on the fourfold, the DNA for people, is personality masteries. We can learn how to identify someone's personality in 15 seconds, and once we know someone's personality, we know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they like, don't like, why they will or won't work with us. We even know if they are married, probably the type of person they're married to, the strengths and weaknesses within their marriage. Yeah, pretty much amazing stuff. Imagine having a system that is so powerful that it will help you increase the leads your business receives, help you convert more leads faster, and obtain more referrals. In segment 4, panel 11 on the fourfold, the DNA for business, this is what we call the 530 grid. There are 5 areas in one's businesses. Area 1, marketing. How do we generate more and better leads? Area 2, pre-sales. How do we convert more leads to clients? Area 3, the sale. How do we convert leads faster? Area 4, servicing. How do we service our clients in the most amazing way where they refer everyone they know to us? And Area 5, client for life, where our clients become our partners and we start to work with all the spheres of influence they are connected with. In segment 5, panel 12 on the fourfold, the DNA for life. This is natural laws. Natural laws govern all that we do. In many ways, it's the hardest of the 3 DNAs to teach, to learn. There are over 500 natural laws which govern our business, our income, and really every area of life. One of those natural laws is the cluster principle. The cluster principle states that it's not unusual that someone making a buying or selling decision will know between 3 and 9 other people over the next 6 to 12 months who are making a similar buying decision as our prospect or client. Imagine what would happen with our business if we had every prospect referring us 2 or 3 or even more additional prospects. Yes, our businesses would double each and every year, and that's just one of the over 500 natural laws applied through our BOS, our engine. Again, BOS consists of DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. And it's the engine that runs our business, organization, and depending on how good it is, all the money we're going to earn, the time we're going to have, the stress and the life balance you're going to have or don't have. Segment 6 is Q&A, and that can be done either at your local level or it can be done through the video stream. That's up to your local MC or host because we're going to hit you with a lot of information today, and I hope you're ready, but this will give you a little opportunity to do decompressing. In segment 7, great things are going to happen next month, and we'll all come back together again as we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. So absolutely everything we do today will be focused on the topic for the month, which will be shared with you in just a minute. Are we clear? Do we understand what we will be accomplishing today, or at least a big picture perspective?
Hey, that was a fantastic video. Wow, thank you so much for joining us on Mastermind Live Seminars. Hey, it's the 3rd Thursday of the month. That means your life's about to change. That's right. Your life is about to change. You know, every single month that we've been doing this for 4 years, there have been a new and exciting way of exploring something deeper and deeper. We started out the year with the value of installing systems generating more and better leads. Once we do that, we convert more prospects to clients. We convert prospects faster. Things are moving, but now we got to generate a large quantity of referrals and then create client-for-life relationships as everything continues to move forward. But at that point, we have to learn leadership at a deeper level because that creates massive profits. And as we do that, we can create profitable partnerships because it's not just about us leading, it's about being a leader of leaders and being a builder, a team of teams, and then developing profitable mastermind groups and helping other people to do the same and attracting profitable clients. That's one of the keys to what we're doing. So today is topic 11. I am so excited. It's fine-tuning our profitable system. Once we have that profitable system in place, now what do we do with it? It's kind of like a loaf of bread. I don't know if you've ever thought about systems in this way, but a loaf of bread is like the system. There's flour and there's water and there's yeast and there's salt. But see, you can change that up. You can not just make a baguette, which people like. They're fresh, they're hot. You can make rolls. You can change that up. You could put a little more sugar and a little more butter in that, and maybe you got a cinnamon roll that's ooey and gooey, and it's amazing. Why do I say that? Because even though we have a core system, we can develop it. We can fine-tune it to shape it into the way we want to do it. That's what it's about today. So the question I have is, what do you really want to accomplish? What is your system, and how can we help you fine-tune it? I'm excited today. We have a host of people that are just going to absolutely blow your mind, and we're going to move right into segment 1. As the video explained, there's 7 segments, and there's 12 topics. And the topic we're on again is fine-tuning our profitable systems. And the system and the segments we have, segment 1 through 7, is our networking. Segment 2 is wins and biggest challenges. And then we get into the BOS, which is the business operating system. That's the system that actually helps drive our system, and that's the thing that the engine that drives our system, and that's the thing that makes the biggest impact on our lives. The DNA of people, the DNA of business, and the DNA of life. It's personality masteries. It's the 530 grid. It's natural laws, and we have a host of people that I'm excited to introduce you later. They're coming up. They're prepared. They're going to absolutely blow your mind. Then we'll have Q&A, because if you think you've been drinking water out of a fire hose, guess what? You have. Now, there's a lot of information, so write down your questions. And I know we have some people that have already posed the questions in advance, anticipating what was going to happen today and the excitement that's going to happen. And then we're talking about great things for next month, promoting a special session that's coming up in March in the Chicagoland area. But first, we're dive into our speed networking, and we have a pretty interesting guy. He is the president of Synergy Solutions. His name is Mark Boersma, and he is an international speaker and author, but he's got some pretty interesting perspectives on how speed networking, which is very different than just handing out a business card or exchanging information, it's trying to get down to the core of somebody in a very short period of time, and helping us understand how speed networking can help us fine-tune our profitable systems. So I'm going to turn it over to the very capable hands of Mr. Mark Boersma. Mark, welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks so much, Kevin. Really appreciate it. When we look at, the how do we do speed networking, I think it comes down to having a system. So when we talk about fine-tuning our systems, to fine-tune our systems, we have to have a system. And over the last almost 30 years now, fine-tuning the action card and really getting it down, where whenever we meet someone, do we go through these 7 questions? Who would be, your ideal lead and why? What are the biggest challenges that you're facing in any area of your business or life? If someone could help you in any area of your life, what would you love help on? Which of these 4 shapes would you tend to, like the most? First, second, third, and fourth. Which of the 4 things would cause you the most frustration, out of control, not being done properly in order, out of control, boring or not fun, or conflict with people? 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would you change? And then 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how good of a student or how coachable do you think you are? These 7 questions will help you. If you're trained in understanding these 7 questions, it'll transform the way you network. Now, you can start off with something as simple as just like if you wanted to do even faster speed. So this is speed, 7 questions, that's fast. It takes a couple minutes. But if you want to do it even faster, you can just ask people what their biggest challenge is. So what's the biggest challenge you're facing in any area of your business or life? Write that on the back of the business card, and then go around and have a competition, a contest, to see how many people you can connect with. The challenge actually is not getting that information. That's pretty simple. That I just trained you in that. Okay, get their biggest challenge. The key is, what do you do with that after you get it? And that's really where Coffee Connection comes into play. And that's, the mastermind seminars, they might happen in your local area once a month. They might happen, they happen online, virtually, this one, once a month. Or they might happen, once a quarter in your local area live, or maybe once a year. Depends on the group that's local. The key is even once a month is not enough, because you kind of get all filled up, but then what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do next week? Are you going to follow through on, fine-tuning our systems? Great. Are you going to do anything on this between now and next month when we go through achieving our life vision? Probably not, unless you're either in one-on-one coaching and or ideally in that and part of a Coffee Connection. Now, what's a Coffee Connection? It's the extension of mastermind seminars. So the purpose of is to assist each member to develop their own boss, their business operating system, empowering them through systems and strategic partnerships to earn more, work less, have less stress, improve our life balance. How we go about achieving our purpose is we meet weekly in person for coffee, and some of us meet over the phone, and are intentional in building our individual boss business operating system through the 3 DNAs, DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. Now, what's the difference between networking versus mastermind groups? So in a mastermind, in a networking group, I give you a fish, you give me a fish, and we both walk away happy. But our lives, our businesses really haven't changed much. Most likely, we still own a job rather than owning a company. Coffee Connection mastermind groups are very different than anything we have ever experienced in the past. It's all about helping business owners, leaders to develop very powerful and profitable systems which help our business to run without us, which help us to live our life vision each and every day. The most important system we need to work on, to fine-tune, to master is the system within me. It's learning how to think differently. Around us in a positive way, we fulfill our life vision and the life vision of those around us as well. So I think, Kevin, like these are systems for networking, for speed networking, to actually do something. Normally, people who go out and do a lot of events, they do a lot of networking events, they go to a lot of events, they gather up a bunch of business cards, and they don't really have a system for following through on it. So once we get this information, once we go through and we get the action card filled out, do we have a system in place that leverages this information to build what's called a conceptual bridge between our products and services and what people are saying their challenges are, what people are saying they'd love help with, what people would be saying they would like to change about themselves? Do we have a system that takes this and leverages this information for the mutual benefit of everyone? Does that make sense, Kevin?
It makes absolute sense. So I'm just kind of curious, what would that sound like? Do you want to just do a quick role play so that would that work for you?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'll let you ask the questions, and then I'll be the person that you're networking with.
Okay. Do you just want me to just wing it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Kevin, nice to meet you. It's great. You know, I was just curious. Like, it seems like you're kind of an energetic, outgoing guy here. I look around. You probably have a ton of stuff on your plate. What would you say the biggest challenge you might be facing in any area of your business or life, Kevin?
Yeah, it's actually driving things forward that are the most important and avoiding the distractions that seem to kind of hold me down.
Huh. Now, that's interesting.
Really? Well, why is that?
Well, I think I might have some ideas on that. I'm going to have one of my associates connect with you either today or tomorrow and schedule a short, conversation over the phone, because I might have some individuals or networks or ideas that would help you in that particular area, if that'd work for you, Kevin.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Hey, great. Hey, do you know anybody else in the group here?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Like, would you mind just introducing me? Because I'm new to the group, and I'm kind of, you seem like you're kind of an extrovert. I love that. I'm more of an introvert. Yeah. Would you mind, introducing me to somebody else?
Sure. There's Elise is on the phone. Elise is here, part of the group.
Cool.
Mark, this is Elise. Elise, this is Mark.
Nice, nice. So, Elise, I see from your name tag that you're actually not Elise. You're actually Emily. Emily, yeah, no problem.
I don't remember people's names. I just love everyone. You know, I just love getting around.
I get it. So, Emily, I'm just curious, like, what would be the biggest challenge you're facing, you know, in any area of your business or life, Emily?
Learning how to discipline myself so I can wear my multiple hats better.
Ooh. Wow. That's really cool. Emily, I might have some ideas that might be able to help you in being able to do that. Would it be okay if you know, if you went ahead, if I had one of my associates connect with you today or tomorrow and schedule a phone conversation for you and I to talk a little bit more about that, maybe see how you and I could help one another?
Sure.
Nice.
Can I ask you a quick question? What your biggest challenge is?
That's a great, you know, my biggest challenge, Emily, is that I'm a little bit of an introvert. So I don't know. I'm brand new to the group here, and Kevin, I mean, he's really been so nice to introduce me to you. And I don't know other people. Do you know anybody else in the room, Emily?
I do.
Did you really? Could you introduce me to somebody?
Absolutely. I would like to introduce you to Alicia. Alicia's been here a little bit with us, and Alicia, this is my new friend Mark.
Alicia, it's so nice to meet you. So, Alicia, I was just curious, like, with all the things you got going in all areas of your business and life, what would you say the biggest challenge that you're facing, Alicia? If you're talking, Alicia, you're on mute.
I think she had to step out or something. Maybe she's super shy.
She might be more shy than I am.
Maybe she is.
Emily,
I bet you could help her too.
I probably could. I mean, maybe. I'm very shy myself. Emily, do you know anybody else in the room?
Yes. I also know Cheryl over here as well. Cheryl, this is Mark.
Cheryl, it's such a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mark. Nice to meet you, too.
So, Cheryl, like with all the things, I'm brand new to the group here, just trying to get to know people a little bit better. With all the things you got going on in, all areas of personally and professionally, it says on your name tag here that you're the HR director of Tanglewood Conservatories. What would you say the biggest challenge you might be facing right now, in any area of your life, personally or professionally?
Well, the biggest challenge I'm facing here at Tanglewood is having a database of people to be able to pull from when I have to let somebody go. So right now we're struggling with filling the spots because I don't have a database ready.
Huh. Let me think about that just a minute. I participate in a coffee connection, and I think there might be some people there that might have some ideas or some networks that you could maybe tap into to build that database. Would it be okay if I had my associate give you a call today or tomorrow to schedule a time where you and I might be able talk a little bit more about that and get to know each other a little more, and maybe I can help you, and maybe you might be able to help me?
Sure. I'm always open to thinking differently and having new ideas,
cool.
out there.
Love that. And then, Cheryl, like I said, I'm new to the group, kind of socially, shy. Do you know anybody else in the, group that you could introduce me to?
I think Rosanna. She's doing DNA for business, so she may have some ideas for you.
Nice, nice. So, Rosanna, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
That is a really amazing dress that you have on today. I really like that a lot.
Thank you.
I was just curious. I'm new to the group, and I'm just trying to get to know people. What would you say the biggest challenge you might be facing, in any area of your business or your life?
I would say that one of my challenges is trying to keep the drama down in my life so that I can go ahead and actually focus on the business.
Yeah. Oh, I hate drama too so much. Let's see here. I actually, might have, some help on that. I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and I'm telling you, the drama they bring. So I'm trying, I might have some ideas. Would it be okay if I had my associate give you a call and schedule an appointment for, today or tomorrow? I might be able to come up with some ideas for you, and you might be able to help me in some of the things that I've got going too. Would that be okay?
That would be awesome.
Nice. Kevin, do you want me to keep going? Is that good enough?
No, I think that's fantastic. And I hope everybody got an idea here of how simple this is. It's not a big deal, but it's important to ask the right questions in a specific way. And I really recommend that you go back to mastermind-seminars.org and look at what we've done in 4 years. In a week or so, this video is actually going to be posted up there. I'll tell you something. If there's just one thing you do today, just one thing, is to go back and listen to that segment where we did the role playing. That Mark did the role playing with all of us. How simple is that? You're in a group, you don't know them, you ask a question, can you introduce me to the next person, and then every one of those people introduces you to the next. I mean, that's simple. That way you're not trying to initiate absolutely every conversation. But what you're doing is initiating because you care with the people that have brought you in and encouraging them. That's helping people fine-tune their systems. I guarantee you, you use that, it's going to make a big difference. Again, it's, like Mark said, it's not getting a business card or all the business cards and then, putting them in your, top pencil drawer and then shutting it and then going on with the rest of your day. It's about executing on these things. But it's important to have a system in place to get back to people. And if you notice something really important, he said, I'll have one of my associates get back with you tomorrow. So Mark has a system in place where there are associates that are helping him make these phone calls. Now, maybe you don't have that yet, but this is something that you can strive for, that you can actually build, and that's what we're trying to teach you to do. So you can have a business that runs, that makes a difference in people's lives. And as we fine-tune our systems, we learn how to network. We really need to do it in a proper way in a short period of time and get more things done. And so, Mark, I certainly appreciate everything that you had shared. That was outstanding. Thank you so much.
Cool. Lots of fun. Thanks, Kevin.
Absolutely. We're going to move into our next segment, and our next segment is wins and biggest challenges. Wins and biggest challenges. So I know that we've talked about that. And so, Rosanna, did you have a win or biggest challenge you'd like to share?
Well, I have been doing something that's very helpful to me, and I think that it might be helpful to others, and it's kind of a win for me. And that's taking my day and consolidating it down to 100 words. And I've been actually sending out an email to others about what, the 100 words that make sense to me for the day. And so I think that's been very helpful to me to just focus and consider my day, my words, how I say these things, how dramatic am I. And so I think it's very helpful to me. So I would say that's a biggest challenge, or biggest win for me.
So when you say the 100 words, is that something that is kind of a cap to your day? You do it at the end of the day, you do it in the evening, you do it in the afternoon? When do you do that?
I've been doing it both. Sometimes in the morning I learn a lesson, and so I think I want to put it down right away, and so I do it right away, and I make 100 words out of it. And then sometimes it takes me all day to figure something out, and by the end of the day I'm like, oh, that makes sense, and so then I use that. So it depends.
Excellent. Is that something that anyone can do, or do you need special training for that, or what?
Anyone can do it, and then you can actually help to help other people in the process by, sending it to them and giving them an encouragement, or maybe they want to do it. So it's actually been starting like a snowball. Yeah.
Right. So you're encouraging them to do that, and then do you do just like once a week, a couple times a week? How often do you do this?
Every day.
Every day. And how long have you been doing this?
I'm on 44 days right now.
44 consecutive days of 100 words.
Yes.
And then how long do you plan on going?
If I hit the 100 days, I might actually consider going further than that. So it's just a matter of my thought process and I guess where it leads me.
Okay. Wow, that's a pretty cool commitment. What drove you to making that commitment?
Seeing how I am not concise in how I speak and how I work with others, and then watching other people grow as they're doing it.
Huh. Interesting. So what do you, in the 44 days that you've been doing that, have you been able to communicate clearer or better or more concisely?
I feel so. I'm not sure. I mean, to me, it seems to be helping me to grow. It also helps me to read back over what I wrote and apply it.
Wow, that's cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Good. Are there any other wins or biggest challenges?
Yeah, Kevin, it's Cheryl.
Yeah,
I'm actually doing the same thing.
Oh.
I'm doing a 100-word journal.
Okay.
I do it every morning as a reflection of the day before, and I've never looked back at my day before. I'm not one that sets goals or plans a whole lot. So it's been interesting for me to look back at the previous day to see what I actually went through and what my feelings were. So I'm going to do it for actually 365 days.
Wow, for a full year consecutively?
Consecutively.
Wow. And what are you hoping to accomplish by doing that 100 words?
I have a brand new granddaughter, and she's 2 months old, and I want to give her sort of legacy to show her what she can do and how she can start her life out in a way that gets her reflection to be different than anybody else out there her age.
Interesting. So when do you plan on sharing that with her?
When she's old enough, I haven't figured that out yet, as she's only 2 months old. But I want to know, I want to leave her some kind of legacy, something to join us together. Who knows? I may even, do it with her to, get her on the same page as me.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, what would happen if you just started to read these to her?
I've thought of that too.
Months. Okay. Interesting. And what day are you on with your 100 words?
I'm on day 65.
Day 65. What have you learned in 65 days that you'd like to share with the group that you think could help them in fine-tuning their systems, and as you continue to use this as a tool to sharpen yourself?
Well, for me, like I said earlier, it's for me to fine-tune, to actually look at my day, whereas I wasn't looking at it before. So for me to give retrospect in what I did the previous day and to change the next day and, just use what I'm learning. I wrote one day, I'm not overwhelmed over and over and over again to get to the 100 words, because I was trying to, tell myself, you're not overwhelmed, you've got opportunities to try and change, my attitude. So it's just little things.
But it sounds like a big thing, because did you feel overwhelmed before you wrote the I am not overwhelmed to get your 100 words?
Oh yeah, I'm significantly overwhelmed right now.
So do you
I'm,
think that reflecting on the past day and writing the 100 words, you're not only less overwhelmed, but besides, which is really cool. Not that that isn't a wonderful thing, because I think a lot of people stress about that. They can have a system, but in order to fine-tune it, they may feel like they're overwhelmed and trying to even make that happen, right? But
right.
But what have you been finding, and what, like, maybe one thing can you share with the group, people that are listening, that you found in the 65 days by reflecting on the day before that have helped you? What are you starting to see?
What I'm seeing is that I don't have processes in place to fine-tune my system so that I'm not overwhelmed, so that I stay not overwhelmed. I don't have processes, so I'm learning that.
So you're learning to put processes in place so you don't feel overwhelmed, and you have a system that's not only a system, but a profitable system.
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. Mark, do you have a win or biggest challenge you'd like to share?
Well, this year, Kevin, is an exciting year for me.
Yeah?
I have decided to make this year the year of drama.
Why is that, Mark?
If you can't beat them, you got to join them.
Well, that's interesting. So what do you mean? If you can't beat them, join them.
Drama just absolutely drives me insane. Like,
really?
It just sucks it's like a black hole. It just sucks the energy right out of me.
Interesting.
So I found in coaching the most difficult, the hardest coaching to be under is counterintuitive coaching, which is doing the opposite of what one knows is going to work. And so it makes no sense that if you hate drama, it sucks the very life out of you, that you would embrace that and run towards that pain rather than away from it.
And what are you discovering?
Oh, it's like a whole world. It's like, I'm not just going to do it this year. I'm going to do it the rest of my life. I mean, Kevin, do you realize how cool it is being the center of attention? Probably not. Yeah. No, you could join me on this journey. Like, there's more and more people, because I'm the center of attention. Like, I don't have to worry about anybody else's anything. My issues are always the biggest issues. My stories are always the best stories. I am the center of the universe. The attention that I now get is it's amazing. It's a great place to be.
Interesting.
I'm also
You're saying before you were a can I say drama king?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before you were a drama king, it was sucking the life out of you. It felt like a black hole, and it was extremely frustrating. And yet now you've decided to be that, and now you've entered a whole new world where you're the center of attention. And suddenly people are actually they must seem a little shocked, because it sounds like a 180.
Well, I'm going around, like, when my girls are around, and they're like, oh my gracious, it's snowing outside, like everywhere, like there's snowdrops, and I'm like, wow. Like, it's also living in the moment. Like, everything is something spectacular. Like, it's like I don't have to worry about any of the pain of the past. I don't have to think about anything in the future. Like, this one moment, like the snow or the car or the door or, the piece of paper that's on the floor, like, anything can be dramatic. Anything can be exciting. It's just like, it's almost like a drug. It's almost like, yes. And then I don't have to worry about anything significant. Like, everything's significant. like everything.
But how are people treating you? You say people are treating you
That's the
differently?
beauty. See, that's the beauty of it, Kevin. You don't have to, if you're a drama, you don't have to worry about how people treat you. Because you're the center of the universe, and if somebody doesn't treat you well, just pump that drama up like crazy, and then you can hold them hostage because you make a scene, and what they'll learn is treat Mark nicely, because if you don't, he's going to create a lot of drama about it. So what you do is you leverage and manipulate everything to your will and your desire. Oh, it's a beautiful place to be.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, thanks for sharing, Mark.
Yes, I have to be careful, because if I'm not careful, I can. There's so much drama. I could go ahead and take over. Like this whole event could be drawn into my black hole of drama. We'd never get to segment 2 or 3 and 4 and 5. It'd all be about the drama, all be about me. So I'm trying like crazy, Kevin, to contain it, but it's hard.
Mark, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you doing that. But thanks for bringing that up, because actually we do have to move on to segment 3, DNA for people. I know. We do have to stay on schedule here. There's a lot of information we have to cover. If we have time later, I might try and circle back. But in the meantime, we have Cheryl, who shared earlier. You know Cheryl. She's from Tanglewood Conservatory.
She's amazing.
And she is. She is the HR
and
director.
She's got this database challenge that she has with all of her people. Oh my great. Yep.
Yes, that's Cheryl. She's going to be talking to us about the DNA for people, and that's personality mastery, Mark, and fine-tuning our profitable systems. So I'd like you to especially listen to this next segment, because it's going to absolutely change your life. Cheryl, DNA for people, please tell us how it's going to help fine-tune our profitable systems.
Man, I don't know if I can compete with you two drama kings. I'm not all about the drama, but I'll try.
Cheryl, I hate to interrupt, but I'm not a drama king. Mark's the drama king. And
you're joining in with them, so.
I'm trying to match the energy, like he said, just to try and rein him in a little bit. And if that's okay, then we're just going to move on to your segment. Go ahead with fine-tuning our profitable systems and how the personality masteries help us with that.
Okay, got it. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Knowing the different personalities has proven very beneficial to me in the human resources career at Tanglewood Conservatories. I've been able to fine-tune my system for onboarding with the help of knowing how to talk to the different personalities and knowing what to look for when it comes to the different roles within Tanglewood. There are 2 simple questions you can ask to find someone's personality. And what you do is you would say, put these shapes in order of how you like them from 1 to 4. And then you say a cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, and a ball. Which one do you like the best from 1 to 4? Then you ask them, what causes you the most frustration, and put them in order of most to least. And you ask them, things being out of order, things being out of control, things being boring and not fun, or having conflict with others. So once they answer those 2 questions, you can have their personality. So if they pick the cube, or things being out of order, they're analytic. They get deep into the details. They can get caught up in the numbers because they keep analyzing them to make them perfect. Just like it was like a cube, each side has precisely to be 1/64th of an inch. Anything less would be unacceptable. They move at a slower pace because they like to dot their I's and cross their T's. Don't ask them to deal with people, as they are task-oriented, and they're not really people-oriented. So if they pick the pyramid, or things being out of control, they have the driver personality. They have a big vision. They know where they want to go and will get there, but they will drive right to the point, just like the shape of the pyramid. You can either come along with him, or he will leave you in the dust. The thing that causes them the most pain are things moving at a glacial pace. Like the analytical, they like the task more than the people. So if the person you gave the test to, they picked the wavy line or things being boring and not fun, then they have an expressive gene in the DNA pool. They enjoy connecting with people. They need to have fun. They tend to not follow through on tasks. Here at Tanglewood, we have a lot of have this trait. Why? Because when they see the wavy line sign, it means we get to have fun leading back and forth into those curves. Please do not give them a task unless you're ready to pair them up with an analytical to get it done, because they love people so much. So they like to chatter. For those that pick the ball or conflict with others, when they will have the amiable personality. They want peace at all costs. They want things to run smoothly. They will take care of things in the background to stay out of the spotlight. Like the ball, they just roll around to everyone and please everyone so that they are liked. The thing that causes them the most pain is conflict with others. And like the expressive, tasks are not as important to them as people. The more you learn the pros and cons of each of the personalities, the more you can fine-tune your systems. Part of the fine-tuning is learning to speak or write in order of the different personalities so you can communicate with them more effectively, or learning to know their frequencies. When you're speaking or even writing to a group, it is best to think in this order with your message. First, you want to speak to the driver with a pyramid to get their attention with the big picture in as little words as possible. Be sure to top grade your thoughts to cast the vision well. The driver has a higher frequency level of 4. You will lose them when you get into the details. And you consider them, they're Navy SEALs. They'll go in and, get things done really quick. Secondly, you want to address the expressive, and that's the wavy line, because you want to get them on board right away, which will help you in spreading the enthusiasm and help draw people in. You need to make your words and tone very fun and exciting, as they have the second highest frequency is 3. If you use a monotone voice, you will lose them very quickly. Think of it like this. Their attention moves with each shiny penny they find on the ground. But also think of them as they will be your coach. Thirdly, you want to speak to the analytic or the cube, as they will want to know the details right away so that they can get thinking about the details. They will get processes and checklists in place to create the success for you. They're the second from the bottom frequency, or 2. You need 1 on your team to get things done. And they will be your teacher. Lastly, you speak to the amiable or the ball. Pour out your heart to them, because that is what they want to hear. They want to know what you think is important and how it connects to their goals. The amiable is the lowest frequency to speak to, or 1. They will be your cheerleader. So using the simple to complicate, the complex to simple natural law, a simpler way to put this is, first you go to the task and the big picture. Secondly, speak to the people and the energy. Thirdly, you speak to the task and the details. And lastly, you go to the people and caring. So learning and incorporating the personalities into your system and fine-tuning how you use them can't but help make your company more profitable. Does anyone have any questions?
Elise, I think you had a question. Is that right?
Yeah, I have a question. I was wondering, with the gaps and the different issues that come with the different personalities, how do we bridge those?
Well, it's a matter of really knowing your personalities and knowing where there's a lack. So, if you have an analytic and they're too much into the details, you need to pair them up with a driver who will look at what they have and push them to be able to move forward in the task. And if you have the expressive who's just going on and going on. You also need a driver to say, we need to move on. So knowing the personalities and knowing where their shortfalls are helps in, moving things along so that you can be more profitable to be able to, and fine-tune your system.
Does that help you, Elise, or not so much?
Yeah.
Good. Do we have any other questions? We got room for one more question. Okay, excellent. Well, Cheryl, we certainly appreciate you bringing that. That was an excellent presentation, by the way. Thank you. And the DNA for people and helping us understand the fine-tuning our profitable systems. I especially like how you said, when it's this person, you got to pair them with this person. That's really key. And I hope all of you took great notes, and I hope next couple of days you're going to check back here to the website. And the website, again, here is going to be mastermind-seminars.org. And check out, we've been live for 4 years. We've done this for 4 years, and it's just been updated. It's brand new. And take a look at the segment that we had that Cheryl had just did. Take notes on that. That's going to help make a big difference as you fine-tune your system. You'll be surprised at the magic that brings. Thank you so much. Now we're going to be moving on to the second part of our BOS system. Again, the BOS is the engine that drives our system, drives our business. And so we've talked about the DNA of business. Now we're going to talk about the DNA of people. Now we're talking about the DNA of business. And for that, we have the leader of the awesome women's group, Rosanna, and she is going to be bringing that information to us on the 530 grid and helping us understand how that's going to help us fine-tune our profitable systems. Rosanna, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Last month, we talked about attracting profitable clients. This month, we're talking about fine-tuning our profitable systems. And what does that mean? Well, take examples that you have a good recipe, and everyone likes it, and every time you make it, you follow it to the T. The 530 grid is very much like that recipe for the business world. It takes what you do to the first, as identifying the target. Then it takes you to number 2, develop and deliver a message. 3, track 100% of your leads. 4, ask key questions, which we call the 30-minute strategy session. And if you're looking at the screen, you might actually see the 530 grid on the screen, and you can see the numbers beside the things that I'm talking about. And number 5, you implement the 10-plus strategic strike. And number 6, you group people and messages together. On the 530 grid, we call that the 6 steps, the golden triangle. And for those of you that wonder what that is, here's a whole workbook on the golden triangle. Now, it's not just a recipe for one thing, but it's a whole recipe book. And if you're interested in it, you might want to check with the people that are on this call and see if you can get more information on how to attain one of those wonderful books. So now we have the recipe. But, it needs to be fine-tuned. And some of those that are making it like to add special taste, a little more spice or sweetness, a little more salt or a little more sugar. And so we take the recipe and we're adding a little more pizzazz to the recipe. In business sometimes, what works on one person, won't appeal to another. So you have to spice up your system to attract a new client or to get clients you have happy. This is taking the systems we have and fine-tuning them. This can be done by changing up the messages to get better copy. It can be allowing different cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, and let a different personality, like Cheryl talked about, the selling, writing the copy, or helping you with your spreadsheets that are tracking the leads. Fine-tuning the business system can help you bring in more clients, profitable ones like we talked about last month. Faster sales, keeping more clients happy so we don't lose them. But after a while, a recipe can get old. So we look at what brought success in the past and we spice it up. Notice, I didn't say throw the recipe away or start over with a whole new system. We need to fine-tune the systems we have to bring more desirable results. Thank you for hanging out in my kitchen with me. Our business systems are very important to success. So look at yours, the 530 grid, and see what you can do to fine tune it to bring success to your business. Meanwhile, I'm going to test out this cookie that I made and see if I need to fine tune my recipe. Thank you. Yum.
I'm hungry. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic, Rosanna. Thank you so much. Wow, what a great analogy, and that's spectacular. I'm blown away. Emily, did you have a question for Rosanna?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to know when you're fine tuning, your systems for the 530 grid. What do you think is the thing that you should fine tune first before the others?
Well, I think you need to look at your system and see what's falling through. Is it the clients are dropping off? Or is it that, they're not happy? Or is it that you're not bringing new people in? And so you need to look at the different avenues that you're working with, and I think they call it the leaky pipe, and see what needs to be fine-tuned. Maybe it's just making sure that you have more your leads tracked better, or notes on your leads better. And so I think it's just looking at the system and seeing what's the best thing to follow up on, see what's falling through. Any other thoughts on that, possibly, Mark? Do you have any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Rosanna's absolutely right. So if you want to take your business from, your income from 100 to 200,000 or 250, you've got to have a different engine. Just like a car that's designed to go 100 miles an hour, you might go to 110, 120, but you're not going to get to 250. You've got to have a different engine. And it could be, $1 million to $2 million, $1 billion to $2 billion. It doesn't matter. It's all, whenever you roughly double from 50 to 100 to 250 to $500,000, million, 2.5 million, you've got to get a new engine. But often what we have leaky pipes. We have a small amount. So we may have 4 out of the 5 pipes at $1 million, but if one of them's only at 200,000, we're only going to do 200,000. How do you do that? I would recommend what's called the business X-ray. It looks at 3 dimensions, 9 major areas, 7 systems, looks at over 40 areas of your business and life, what you're doing right, little tweaks that you could do to improve. It really looks at not only the 530 grid, but the expansion into the leadership, and then the expansion into profitable partnerships, and then also over 40 areas, of your business and life. So it's really a powerful tool. It's what's called a level 3 and level 4 examination. And so that's a great tool that people can access.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Are there any other questions here for Rosanna?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Cheryl.
Go ahead.
I actually had a question about wondering if you need to change the questions you ask. I mean, if you're supposed to ask key questions, do they need to be revamped?
Yeah, I noted that because sometimes the questions you're asking may not be getting down to what the person is looking for. And so, yes, maybe having a different personality, look at the questions. Maybe they need to add lib to the questions a little bit to get people to be drawn in.
I might, that's a little dicey because often people aren't comfortable with questions, and so they ad lib. So Rosanna's right, but you better know what you're doing. Like, you have to, to break the rules, you first must master them. And so the core questions, there's 4 levels of questions. And so the level 1 questions have been researched and experimented with for over 30 years. And I would not deviate from those in almost any situation. Level 2 questions, more customizable, a little bit more. Level 3, totally customizable. So level 2 and 3, maybe 4 too, those are going to be customizable, but you want to be really, really careful, and you don't want just anybody changing the questions. That will create a disaster. It's like McDonald's doesn't let every restaurant, change, how much salt they put on the fries based on their own personal preference. If that makes sense.
Very good point, Mark. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Right. But to Rosanna's point, and bridging that with what you said, Mark, is that maybe there's a slight tweak, but don't change the basic recipe. And what I'm hearing you say is there's a basic recipe. Don't mess with it. Like, for instance, bread. It's flour, water, yeast, and salt. That's a non-negotiable. And if we can stick to that, then maybe we add, an additional ingredient down the road, but we have the same basic things that are tried and true, and those are the things that are the foundation. So that because we could have a completely different result.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
The thought in the notes that I said is don't throw the recipe away. So you're not throwing away something good. You're just adding to it. And maybe you want to make sure that you check with people who have actually helped you to develop the system to see if the addition is a good or bad thing.
Right. That's wise. And for anyone, thank you so much, Rosanna. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Cheryl and Mark, for jumping in here with good questions. I'm just going to circle back to what Rosanna said about the Golden Triangle and the coffee connections. If you'd like to get one of those, contact the person that invited you, or you could go ahead and send us a Twitter tweet at MM_SEMINARS. Again, that's MM_seminars, or click on the video live chat, and we will get that information to you because we want to truly help you fine-tune your profitable system. Thank you, Rosanna. We're moving on to our next segment. I'm excited to bring on our next speaker. She's also from Tanglewood Conservatories, and she is a professional at what she does as well. She understands people at a deep level. She has been able to affect positive change in the business that she's at. But she has a very special segment, and it's called the DNA for Life. Again, the DNA for Life. The DNA for Life is the natural laws. The natural laws are the things that tie the entire BOS system together. Think of it as the aluminum, as the metal around all the engine parts and all the oil and all the things that make it actually run. But you got to have something to hold it in place and the bolts that actually tie it into the car itself, because you could have a great engine, but if it's not securely fastened to the chassis, you're not going anywhere pretty fast, and it could wreck the car. So, Alicia, I'm excited to have you on board. Go ahead with your segment on the DNA for Life and how that's going to help us fine-tune our profitable system.
Thank you for that introduction, Kevin. In keeping with our topic for today of fine-tuning our profitable systems, how do you avoid becoming the victim of an inefficient business model? In today's volatile economy, most businesses face acute pressures over generating referrals, producing quality leads, attracting and converting prospects into profitable clients, and creating massive profits. As it turns out, periodically calibrating our systems is essential to optimizing operational agility. Not surprisingly, it is also fundamental to replicating successful results. In much the same fashion, fine-tuning our profitable systems can be likened to tending a garden. You may be thinking, what can we learn about fine-tuning our systems from gardening? Well, let us take a moment to ponder these questions. What is the key to a healthy and productive garden? How do you promote growth once you plant your vegetable seeds? What measures do you take to maximize your efforts? How do you manage its harvest? Agreeably so, scheduled care is the secret to keeping a garden at the peak of health and productivity. Proper maintenance is vital for encouraging high-yielding produce. Plants do not grow to simply satisfy good intentions. After all, there is no joy without the toil. Likewise, fine-tuning and maximizing the business systems you so carefully crafted is a perennial challenge. We can all agree that it requires well-thought-out strategies, ambition, and a great deal of effort. The idea, then, is that small system modifications offer the ability to manage desirable outcomes and yield new business opportunities by leveraging industry knowledge. Part of the fine-tuning process focuses on creating further improvements within our systems. The most important lesson, however, is being proactive in identifying the opportunities for improvement. If this process sounds unnecessary or time-consuming, consider what will happen if a company chooses not to calibrate its systems. In the simplest sense, dedicating resources to fine-tune our profitable systems is essential. By improving the execution of our profitable systems, natural laws are the foundation of any successful business operation. How do we promote continued growth once we have our systems in place? What measures do we take to continuously maximize our efforts? How do we manage and periodically tweak our profitable systems? Proper maintenance in gardening and business alike requires patient labor and attention to details. Essentially, it requires expending effort, consistent commitment to weeding out ineffective processes and cultivating the potential to generate new gains is critical to calibrating well-maintained systems. When examining our systems operations, the answer to structuring our business for prosperity and profit is the application of natural laws. These principles explain how and why the world works the way it does, even in the business world. How do we use the wisdom principles of the ages to avoid becoming the victim of an inefficient business model? How do we use fundamental principles of natural law to anticipate and dramatically improve our chances for success? How do we fine-tune our profitable systems and maximize efficiency? The task of the natural law is to establish the foundational rules and challenge us to change the way we think. Natural laws are applicable for any business system, regardless of size or product offering. It may be helpful to imagine them as essential tools and techniques that follow a natural order, ideal for analyzing and successfully dealing with an ever-changing business environment. A few highly insightful natural laws beneficial to fine-tuning our profitable systems are the investment return principle, claim unclaimed territory, and good versus great. Application of the investment return principle states that the more we invest in our systems, the greater return we will see in our business model. If we give customers compelling reasons to do business with us, they will. If we create a rewarding place to work, team members will do great work. If we give great service to our team will in turn give great service to our clients. When applied consistently, claim unclaimed territory principle conditions us to do things that are not necessarily expected of us, and oftentimes we are not recognized for. Successful businesses do the things other businesses know they should, but generally do not. Additionally, good versus great describes the transition from good to great. To reach greatness, you need to keep getting better. If you are not consistently getting better, you will not sustain long-term greatness. In conclusion, by successfully incorporating natural laws into our daily business decisions, we can harness the power of evolution to fine-tune our systems and maintain long-term profitability. Any questions?
Wow. I believe, Rose, first of all, that was spectacular, Alicia. Thank you for giving us that insight. That is absolutely tremendous. I hope everyone sees how amazing that information is, how amazing Alicia is. I hope everyone can see that. Rosanna, you had a question. Go ahead, and the floor is yours. You had a question for Alicia.
How do I promote and sustain growth once my system's in place?
Well, that's a wonderful question, Rosanna. By no stretch of the imagination am I an expert on this topic. So I'm going to extend this question to Mark, who has much more familiarity and knowledgeable insight to offer.
I'm thinking, can you read it again, Rosanna, slower this time?
How do I promote and sustain growth once our system's in place?
Okay, so the complexity of that question is just like it's like in the natural laws, the DNA for life, there's things that are called supernatural laws. Supernatural laws are the combination of multiple natural laws coming together. And so there's this flood that's hitting my brain, and I'm like, well, you got to get disciplined people, disciplined thinkers, disciplined in taking action. You've got to get people that are what's in it for me, that everyone on the team has to have discovered their life vision, and they need to connect their life vision and the team's life vision. People need to understand they need to be the best student in the world. They need to understand that they think they're consistent and committed, but they're only consistent and committed on a certain level. They think they're driven and disciplined, and they are, but they need to take it to another whole dimension. They need to be able to be driven. They need to be able, in clear communication, to communicate like they've never communicated before, both verbally and listening. So they have to be phenomenal listeners. Everyone has to be self-vaporization and allowing other team members to vaporize anyone at any time, regardless of anything. But then you've got to also apply the simple to complex to simple principle. So the simple to complex to simple principle is when we simplify things, we gain productivity and profitability up to a certain point. Once we hit that top point, well, that's going to go ahead. We want to jump it to another dimension. So it's different than just efficiency. You can get efficiencies up to a certain level, but then to jump to another level, you have to go ahead and add complexity. When you add complexity, that's going to bring down your overall profitability, which tends to go ahead and push you back up to the top unless you have a vision that's bigger than death. Then you continue to press it forward until you get far below where you were, and you get ticked off, and then you simplify all of that to jump. Well, to do that, how do you move to complex sooner? Reduce the time we're in complex, meaning figure out how to be complex without the complexity, using the 80-20 rule to find out the best of the complexity and then master it. Have a great plan and prepare, have the right people and be focused, and do this all before the environment forces you to be able to do it. Understanding the next dimension principle is really, really key. So the question that you ask is a very, very complex question. I mean, there's so many different pieces and nuances in that. And I think this is what people don't understand. A lot of individuals that are starting their own companies, they don't realize that 97% of all companies die within 7 years. Like it's not as bad as trying to play the lottery, but it's not a given. Matter of fact, so they don't realize how hard it is. Just like a team, there's a program called, they're working on a website, DNAforteams.com. So they're working on that. And it's action vision for teams. It's magical on bringing all of the different pieces together where teams don't have to break. But teams will break just like machinery will break unless you have predictors and you can tell what's going to happen. So so much more could be shared on that, but that's what hit my brain when you read that question slower.
Gotcha.
Does that help or not so much?
It helps, but it also helps me to know that I probably should have people in my life that can help me with those systems rather than accomplish it all on my own.
Absolutely.
So having a coach or an encourager beside me would probably be really good.
Right. And
well,
I could just
an encourager would be a level 1 frequency, Kevin. And so when we get discouraged, I guess we need an encourager, but we also need, we have to go ahead and have, in addition to a level 1, when we get discouraged, yes, we need that, but you can have all the encouragement in the world, and this is going back to the DNA for people for what Cheryl was talking about. Then you got to have someone super smart, not like academically smart, like not with lots of degrees.
Socially smart.
What's socially, system smart, people smart.
Yep.
I mean,
right.
All kinds of, and then you've got to have somebody that can whip the crowd into the team into a frenzy, the community, the groups of people, to bring all of that, like the heart, the soul, the passion. And then you've got to have somebody that's willing to make the hard choices that the other people don't want to make, won't make, to drive it through, because when you make a dimensional jump, it's not fun. It's hard. It's painful. It's not going to work, and there's going to be conflict. So you've got to have all 4 of the people beside you and being able to do that.
Good advice. That's exactly right. I hope everyone has got at least a little taste of why we do what we do. We deeply care about your success because we know that our success, in part, not 100%, maybe not even 10% or 20%. I don't know. Put a number on it for you, but I know that my success in business is not relied upon me. It can't be. But I also can't allow other people to do the work for me. What each one of our speakers has shared today, Cheryl with the DNA for People, Rosanna with the DNA for Business, and Alicia with the DNA for Life, and the Q&A with that follow-up question of how to promote and sustain growth in our systems and keep those in place. What the systems are there. If you can learn to at least start to see how amazing your business can be, your life can be, then I'm going to encourage you to get back to the person that invited you here. Get involved in a Coffee Connections. That's going to be the thing that's going to sustain you between now and the next third Thursday that's coming up. But you're not going to make it unless you're plugged in. I'll guarantee it. I know it's a little bit deviation from maybe the MC role, but maybe not. Maybe it's just, hey, it's a call to arms. It's like you got to get in this game and you got to make it work, or your life is you're going to pay the cost. Because see, we never get an invoice for the things that we mess up on. If we don't take action, we don't get an invoice for that, but we should. So here's your invoice. It could cost you $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, $1 million, or in my case, when I did an Action Vision profile, what I could have been making over a 3-year period of time had I had all the systems in place, over $2 million. You think about that. How your life is going to be from now on has to be direct in proportion to how your systems and how your profitable systems are going to drive things forward, because you're not going to achieve your life vision. That's what we're going to be talking about next month, achieving your life vision. Achieving your life vision. Why are you going to do that in the first place? Well, you're going to do that because your life vision is bigger than death. Because when it's bigger than death, you get through stuff. You get over stuff. Things that held you back before don't hold you back anymore. Why? You have a life vision that pulls you. You have a profitable system that pushes you, and you have people surrounding you that are all trying to do the same thing. Imagine a team of people that are disciplined and focused with a life vision that interacts with each other, like Mark said. That's what we're about. That's what this thing is. So next month, it's about how to achieve our life vision. That's what we're going to be doing. I want you to write down everything you're passionate about, things that you're excited about, things that truly drive you. Not what you think drive you, but the things that you know in your heart of hearts drives you. And we're going to help you put this together. But here's my encouragement. You bring other people along with you next time that you do this. Next month, third Thursday, every month, 10:30 a.m. Central. You'll be there, and you'll be with other people, and they'll thank you because you truly care. So I want to take a couple of minutes here, and I want to thank Mark. I want to thank Rosanna and Cheryl and Alicia. I want to thank Elise. I want to thank Emily. Everybody that had a hand in what was happening today. Mark, we have a couple of minutes left. I want to get any final thoughts that you have on the March event that's coming up and what people can do to take action to make that a spectacular event.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be amazing. Vision helps other people. Like we're like zombies, and we're wasting the gift of life. And so, Alan Stein, he wrote something very, very profound.
What was that?
In the setup of it, it's like business people are on the surface really looking to make more money, work less hours, and, have less stress and improve their life balance. I mean, that's what they're looking for.
Right.
But Alan, he shared probably in year 3, maybe year 2 or 3, in one of the breakfasts before the event. He said, for a long time, or I saw or thought I saw Legacy Partner Network as business owners trying to make a living for their families, just like the rest of us are. I thought their primary goal was the same as most people in the world, to make money so they could support themselves and retire at some point and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Then I started to see that this was just a reflection of where I myself was at. I started to see that as being only a superficial exterior, the deeper reality was and is something that I am completely unfamiliar with and still struggle sometimes to accept, that there are others out there that are coming from a very different place, a place that is very different from the rest of us. I don't have much access to this place. It's a place with a different conception of self, where real service to mankind is a driving force, not concerns with my own life issues. Hard to even imagine what this would mean to me if I were to attempt to live so differently. Much has to be done first, though, before I could even reach the dimension where this could be a reality, not just an imagination. See, it's not really about making more money, doubling your income, or being more successful. I started to catch glimpses of something much, much deeper, like peering into another dimension for moments. That is what we are really being led to. So the first 12 topics, Kevin, as you've participated from the very beginning, those are all things that are needed. We need systems in place to do all of those things. You and I have been on this journey for 4 years. And year 5, I believe, is going to be a breakthrough year for both of our businesses, as well as anyone else that travels this journey with us. And I think it's going to all start in Chicago. And so,
I agree. Which is interesting. Started in Chicago. I agree. It started in Chicago, and now it's going to start in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's starting to go all around the country. So there's another one in Philadelphia in May, another one in June in Maryland, one in August in Nashville. Like, it's starting to expand. There's talks about China and Africa and Israel, the Middle East. And so it is something that is truly, like, every event says it's different than every other event, but people go and say, yeah, maybe not so much. This is much. I mean, it's very, very different. Cool.
It is. It is. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's been on today. Again, thanks to all of our speakers, Rosanna, Cheryl, Alicia, and for the contributions from Elise and Emily, and behind the scenes for Jonathan, who does an awful lot of work. You don't even see him, but he puts all this together and helps us with the technical side of things. So thanks to you, Jonathan, and everybody that supports him and MVP Network. And just spectacular things are going on. I hope you can join us. In fact, I need you to join us. I just need you to join us. I need you to join us next month. I need you to join us in March. Show up. Get here. Figure out a way to make it happen, and we'll get you the information. So you can go ahead.
Did we share, Kevin, sorry to interrupt, did we share about doing a 30-minute strategy session?
Oh, my goodness. Mark, forgive me.
Like, I got so caught up in the drama. I mean, it's like, that's the thing about drama. It's like distracting. It's like, my gracious.
What's up with that?
So, and there's something new about the 30-minute strategy session. So if you're visiting, and you haven't done your 30-minute strategy session, you'll want to do it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Go to www.dnaforsuccess.com. That's www.dnaforsuccess.com. Go to examination and then free 30-minute strategy session. Click on that. There's now actually 2 options. You can do take the survey. It's 3 minutes, and so it's very simple. Or I'd encourage you to go ahead and take a few more minutes and do the advanced 30-minute strategy session. The more that the individual who interviews you have, the more information, the more it will blow you away. It's phenomenal what they can get in just 3 minutes of answering questions. But you take a few more minutes to answer a few more questions, and it'll be even a more powerful experience. And so go in, there's no cost to this. It's a gift to you through Legacy Partners. Go into this expecting that your business, your life, your career, even your relationships will change forever because it has for so many other people. If you have any questions on anything that's covered on that, or actually anything covered today, feel free to connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll-free, 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day.
Wow. So what did you think? Did you feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose? A lot of information in a very short period of time. We get it. Don't worry if you don't pick it all up the first time, because each month you'll come back, you'll pick up more and more each and every month. The more we pick up and apply, the more money we'll earn as a result of attending this event, and the more time we'll have, the less stress we'll have, and the greater life balance we'll have in every area of life we value. Often people ask, what's next? Great question. Did you register yet that you attended? If not, do that immediately at www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. And we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. There are some amazing follow-up resources that we will get over. There is no charge for any of these resources. Okay, so you've registered. Now what? If you haven't already done your complimentary 30-minute gift coaching session, then that is the place to start. Go to www.dnaforsuccess.com. Go to the top drop-down, examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Click on that. It will literally take you 3 minutes to complete that, and then someone from Legacy Partners and Mastermind Seminars will call you and give you your 30-minute strategy session. Again, there's no cost. It's a gift from every one of us to you. Go into that 30-minute strategy session expecting that your business and life will be changed forever, because it has so for so many people. Again, go to www.dnaforsuccess.com, go to the top drop-down examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Once you complete that, there are so many different possible solutions to assist you in overcoming the biggest challenge you're currently facing, and how to help you develop your very own BOS, the engine which runs your business. There are weekly live mastermind calls, coffee connections you can attend at no cost. There are online courses, group coaching, media solutions, and even one-on-one coaching which can be provided to you depending on your specific needs and overall goals. Please do not leave today without committing to meeting with at least 2 other people, either over coffee or over the phone, at a minimum once a week, to follow through on all the amazing information, ideas, tools, systems, and great people, both locally and then around the world, through Mastermind Seminars and Legacy Partners. One side note, because there is no charge to attend, participate, and gain massive benefit from Mastermind Seminars, individuals often wonder, how do these amazing events are funded? Well, they are actually funded by generous individuals just like you who give financially weekly through Coffee Connection contributions or monthly through Mastermind Seminars. Your generous contribution to Life Masteries Institute, which is an IRS-approved 501c3 nonprofit organization, not only enables the events, tools, and networks to be developed and given to you and others, but also a portion of your gift goes to many great causes. When we give generously in a financial way, we gain financially as well. No gift is too small. Even giving $5 a week or even a month will make a big difference. To give, go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. Here is what others have found. In just getting started with my company, I didn't feel I could give anything. Even $5 a month was a sacrifice. I decided to do that, and as soon as I started to give financially, I became more focused on turning what I was learning into financial gain for me personally, and it worked. I'm now contributing a little more and will continue to increase my giving as my business and income grows. Adam, a new entrepreneur. We have given over $45,000 because we know it's the right thing to do. Yes, we do give of our personal and company resources, time and talents, but we also know how important it is to give financially as well. We have found that when we give financially, we become more focused on turning our involvement into sales and financial success. It seems that those who do not give financially, they often do not gain financial benefit. The entire Mastermind seminar experience has done more for building a successful culture through our entire company than hundreds of thousands of dollars in consultants, seminars, and workshops. We've accomplished more in a couple of years than the 20-plus years prior. Any individual, any company, any organization which does buy in and get their entire company involved is, how do I best say it, missing out on a chance of a lifetime. Alan Stein and Nancy Virts, owners, www.tanglewoodconservatories.com. I give financially weekly, and my business has more than doubled. Ginger Ann Collins, owner EVA, Executive Virtual Assistant, and Executive Coach. www.dnaforsuccess.com/implementation/E-VAS. The more I give financially, the more I receive financially. Ann Wayman, Dream Giver, Ghostwriter, www.annwayman.com. I was looking for additional income streams, and by giving financially, it's opened so many doors for me. So many opportunities become available when we are financially generous. Ed Noel, mortgage professional, owner, leadership, and team building coach. It was really tough for us to give anything, as we had invested so much into our business, but we decided to start out with $25 a month. We didn't think of it as a very big gift, but the truth is, it was a lot for us when we started. And the doors that financial gift has opened for us are huge. We will be giving a portion of what we generate in our business back to Life Masteries Institute and pay it forward to help others around the world gain financial freedom. Steve and Avalinda Casey, owner, real estate investing, speaker, and author. Being a part of mastermind seminars over the last 3 years has changed the way I think about every area of life. When we give financially, we not only support what is given to us, but we assist others in our community and around the world. Be generous. Kevin King, helping people save money on health insurance. My business has benefited so much from the mastermind seminars and coffee connections. It's the right thing to give back weekly financially. Jonathan Sparrow, owner, web technology, www.themvpnetwork.org. If you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas from today, please connect with the individual who invited you to attend or your MC, host, or you can even call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300, or the U.S. base number is 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. Always remember, we can accomplish far more together than we ever could on our own. So think of 3 other individuals you believe would benefit from what we shared and invite them to your mastermind conference call, coffee connection, and next month's mastermind seminar event. Have an amazing day and life.